channel, welcome back to another video. I'm Jessie and you're watching I have been waiting for this for so long.
I've been waiting for this for so long.
Okay, now I'm being attacked. Okay, she doesn't like my singing, y'all. She don't like my singing. Can I please film my video? This is my livelihood. Ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. In January of 2020, right before the world went to shit, I launched my Jessie's deck of TBR cards. And so many of you... What are you doing? Okay. Move that paw from underneath my booty. In January of 2020, I launched my Jessie's deck of TBR, and these cards were just a fun way for me to pick out what I'm going to read each month on my channel. Every month I would roll 2 die and the dice would tell me how many cards to draw from the deck each month. I just thought it would be a really fun way to spice up reading here on Bow Ties and Books, but what I wasn't anticipating was for so many of you to comment and be like, yo, when are you going to put these cards on sale? Yo, when can I get a deck for myself? Yo, I want to gift a deck to my little sister or to my cousin who's a huge reader. When are these going to become available for sale? And I'm finally able to say that the deck is completely finished. Now, before I go into further details on how to get your hands on my TBR cards, I have to give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's video. A representative for PETA Entertainment reached out to me and asked if I'd be able to help out with their Kickstarter for Volume 3 of Chayoma, Curse of the Jangura. It was described to me as a tapestry of chaos, magic, politics, and absolutely action-packed. And I can say after finishing both Volume 1 and Volume 2 that is completely freaking accurate. I seriously could not agree more, and my favorite part of these books is a draw between the way that the illustrators and the colorists bring the story to life and with the characters themselves. They're unique and they exude power, and I love that we have a mighty female protagonist to shepherd us through the story. The books are all about the diversity that exists within the African continent and a celebration for tribal heritage. But I seriously could have wept seeing representation for a muscular black woman kicking all kinds of booty. So the Kickstarter campaign for Volume 3, which I'm so freaking heavily anticipating, launched on September 27th, and I will leave that link down below for those of you who are interested in donating. PETA Entertainment is all about preserving African culture through comics, and I really want to see African diasporic comic publishers grow and be able to eventually compete with the big three. I really want to see this book do well. I want to see this publisher succeed, but that can't happen without help, so please donate if you're able. Ooh, and now it's time to talk about the cards.
You guys, I'm so freaking excited.
I have been pouring my heart and soul into these cards. It took me so freaking long to come up with prompts that were a good balance of creative and fun while also still encouraging people to read with ethnic, sexual, disability, inclusive, diversity, etc. So for those of you who aren't familiar with my TBR cards, each and every card has its own artwork and a creative reading prompt associated with that artwork. They've genuinely made my reading so much more engaging and enjoyable because even when I have like a select group of books that I know I want to read during the month, I can still pull out 1 or 2 cards and incorporate those cards into my TBR and use them to reach for books that I might otherwise not have been able to pick up without the help of the cards. But I know a lot of you have been waiting very freaking patiently to find out who is the artist behind these cards. I've been hinting for a while now that the artist who's designed the cards is a part of the BookTube community, somebody that I really respect and cherish, who is an incredible artist and whose BookTube channel is known for their artwork. And I am so so excited to finally announce formally that the artist who designed the first ever Jesse's deck of TBR cards is none other than Olivia of I Livy for Books. Now, I had the pleasure of meeting Olivia last year during BookNet Fest, you know, before the world went to hell in a handbasket, and she's even more of a ray of light in person. I've been watching her videos ever since I started out here on BookTube, and she's really well known for her book defacing videos where she takes a book and she turns it into a literal masterpiece and draws these beautiful mandala-esque designs all over them, paints them, and just brings the story itself to life. So I knew that I really wanted her to illustrate the first ever deck of TBR cards, and I was so freaking excited when she said yes. In addition to her book defacing videos, Olivia designed the journal for Children of Blood and Bone, which is in stores at Barnes & Noble right now. Tomi Adeyemi, the author of Children of Blood and Bone, reached out to Olivia personally and personally requested that she design the cover for this journal. That's how amazing and incredible Olivia is. That's how amazing and incredible her artwork is. So I am especially grateful and incredibly fortunate that she agreed to do this project with me. So as of this month, Olivia has officially completed all of the designs for the deck. They are completely beautiful, and in this video, I'm going to be giving you a sneak peek as to what these cards look like. The first card that I would like to show off to you is the Double Trouble card. The prompt is read a book where the protagonist is a twin. So many of the cards that she created has this really beautiful kind of celestial, neon, magical, whimsical art style, and I'm just completely in love with it. All of the cards will have a black background with a silver border, and the prompts will differentiate between ones that are kind of creative and somewhat challenging, such as the Double Trouble card, or cards like the R.F. Kuang card. Read a science fiction fantasy book with an Asian protagonist that encourages you to read with ethnic diversity. I almost wept when I saw the artwork that Olivia created for the R.F. Kuang card because R.F. Kuang is one of my favorite authors. If you spend any amount of time on this channel, you know how obsessed I am with the Poppy War books. This is definitely one of my favorite designs that Olivia has come up with out of the entire deck. Just so freaking phenomenal. Then we also have the Tochi Onyobuchi card, read a work of Afrofuturism. This is another card that I think really illustrates Olivia's amazing, incredible ability to create artwork that is just otherworldly. Like, seriously, I could not have come up with a better concept on my best day. Honestly, all of the cards that she came up with are just so freaking impressive. Then there is the Pretty Boy card, which is, as a gender non-conforming person, this card is another one of my personal favorites. Read a book where a male character challenges norms of masculinity. This card is called Career Day, Dream Job as a Child. Read a book with a main character in that profession. I really loved the prompt for this card because it allows the reader to reconnect with who they thought they were going to be growing up. And I just love the dreamy, again, celestial artwork that Olivia produced for this card. I think it's absolutely perfect for the prompt. Like I said, I could not have come up with a better illustrator for these cards if I had tried. So each deck is set to have 53 cards in it. There actually might be a 54th card, but we'll see. And my plan is to launch these cards either on October 31st or midnight on October 31st, so November 1st. Now, before I can talk about how to get your hands on a deck of TBR cards, I believe in this project with absolutely all of my heart. This project means a lot to me because it's an idea that I created, and watching it come to life, something that I'm so passionate about and excited to get out into the world. Did y'all see that artwork? How freaking beautiful and creative and stunning is it? Olivia did such a good, amazing, perfect job. I am so glad that I asked her to do these cards and that she agreed. Now, the most important part of this video, and I cannot emphasize this enough, Olivia deserves to be paid for her work and her labor and the incredible outcome of these cards. I had absolutely no problem paying her out of pocket for doing these illustrations. And then I lost my job because of COVID. The savings that I was going to use to pay Olivia, I ended up having to use to pay rent and live and try and survive. So if you would like to get your hands on my TBR cards, please, please, please donate to the Kickstarter down below so that Olivia can get paid and the cards can go on sale. Seriously, any donations, no matter how small, will make a huge, huge, huge freaking difference. And if you aren't able to donate to the Kickstarter, it would honestly mean the world to me if you would share, retweet, just boost this Kickstarter, share it to your reader friends, share it to your wealthy uncle, just do what you gotta do, but please, please, please help me and Olivia get these cards out into the world. I actually have really big, exciting plans for these TBR cards. I eventually would love to come out with a deck for romance readers, a deck for science fiction and fantasy readers, a deck for horror and thriller readers, and a deck that centers the Black diasporic readers in particular. Also want to create mini decks for the holidays, decks for Halloween and Christmas so that you can have an extra creative way to select your holiday themed reads. And eventually I'm going to have a build your own deck option on the TBR Cards website where you can pick and choose which cards you want from which decks and create your own custom deck. Those of you who are able to donate to the Kickstarter will be put into a drawing in order to win a deck of my TBR cards, just as like another little incentive to donate and make this possible. I will also be doing giveaways over on Instagram and on Twitter. Once Olivia gets paid, I will launch the website for the TBR cards and allow y'all to pre-order. I am still figuring out how many pre-orders I want to allow, but the first either 250 or 500 pre-orders, those cards are all going to have first edition on them. Just because I'm going to be making several editions of these cards, for those who eventually want to turn them into collectibles, it might be a good idea to get yourself a first edition for those who are interested. I'm also low-key, but I guess not low-key anymore because I'm revealing it in this video. I am low-key going to have a readathon that will launch in January of 2021 for these cards. The readathon will take place over on Instagram as well as on YouTube, just as a way for us all to enjoy these cards and see what books these cards make us pick up. So yes, phase 2 of the TBR cards, we are so freaking close. We are so close to letting these cards get out into the world. I am over the moon excited about this, and I hope y'all are too. So if you are willing and able, please donate to the Kickstarter and please share so that we can get Olivia paid. And I also encourage y'all to over donate to the Kickstarter. All of this money is going to go straight into Olivia's pocket. None of it is going to me. If the Kickstarter ends up meeting its goal and you decide to throw more money at her, please freaking do that because she absolutely deserves more. I've been working on the concept of these TBR cards since last July. Although it really wasn't until this year that I decided I actually wanted to put them out for sale. But ideally, this is going to be a way for me to sustain myself off of my YouTube channel alone, because that's what I'm trying to do right now. Although I'm not quite large enough in order to really survive off of my YouTube channel alone, but that is my goal. This channel is my passion. Being a booktuber is my passion. It is literally my dream job. And these cards are a part of the way that I can make that happen. But more importantly, these cards are bigger than my own personal hopes and dreams. I genuinely feel that these cards are going to be a way to help people that struggle to read with diversity learn how to do so. I think that these cards are going to be a way for authors of color to sell more books, for authors that are queer to sell more books, for authors with disabilities to sell more books. I think that these cards are going to be good for the bookish community overall, and I genuinely mean that. I have put so much heart and soul and energy into this project, and Olivia has too. I would absolutely love for these cards to do really well so that I can make more decks, more special limited edition decks. I would love to create a deck for booktubers specifically with all of these different challenges for video ideas and things like that. I would love for these cards to do so well that I can pay Olivia double the next time that I work with her. I'm starting to ramble and I'm also starting to get emotional. I want these cards to succeed for reasons that go far beyond myself and my own livelihood. And if you are able to donate, if you are able to support these cards in any way, shape, or form, it genuinely will mean the absolute world to me. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. Thank you so much for watching another Bowties and Books production. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would absolutely love it if you became a part of my bookish family. All of my social media links will be in the description box below, as well as the links to the Peta Entertainment Kickstarter and Olivia's Kickstarter. Stay safe, wear your mask, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.